What is going on, everybody? Today it is January 28th, and my good buddy Mason and I, who I work with, who I've fished with several times before, but we've never made an episode together. We're gonna do the first fishing episode of the year, and I am at a private neighborhood pond with some who our good friends live on the lake. They give us permission every time we're down here. So that's one thing to start off this year, guys. Go to any pond, just ask, get permission. Most of the people are pretty cool about it and letting you fish. Just be respectful of the property. And that's what we're doing today. The reason I like to fish this lake, as you guys can see around the pond, it is surrounded in rock. The depth of this pond isn't more than 9 feet. So with that being said, it warms up a lot quicker than your average ponds. The bite turns on here a lot quicker than your average ponds. Baits I'm gonna be throwing today, I've got a black and blue jig. I've got a chartreuse white and green pumpkin chatterbait. And then I've also got a jerkbait, one of the new Rapala rip stops. Super pumped to use that. I don't know what Mason is gonna be throwing. I see he's got Texas rig stuff tied on and a jerkbait. And we're gonna see if we can rip him today. Trying to figure out this bite. If this pond doesn't work, we've got one other pond. I can already see a bass right there come up to the edge of this grass. So this is about to be a good day, but we've got another pond we can hit up if this one doesn't go so well. So stay tuned. All right, I didn't want to do it so early, but I'm busting out the chatter. I got a booty shaker as a trailer, and this is the new jackhammer, which they've been around for a while, but since Z-Man paired up with them, they're getting imported. Yeah, these are very expensive. These are a $20 chatterbait. Worth every penny though, because I'm about to show you why. So, stay tuned, folks, because it's about to get a little bit chattery. Across the lake. Oh, hold on. Dude, what is it? Oh, it's a pretty good fish too, buddy. Right there on the bank. That's a pretty good fish. That's a long fish. There we go. Chatterbait sealed the deal, that hammerjack. That's my first bass of the year, dude. Will you take a picture for me? Yeah, baby. Well, that is the first bass of 2018. Let's go ahead and get this release. There we go, another fish. A little better too. Yeah, a lot better. Let's go. Woo! So I want to teach you guys something and help you guys learn why I'm catching fish. I mean, it's winter, it's January, this is the earliest I've ever fished, and it is not too cold out today. It's actually 40 degrees, but the water temperature is low 40s, maybe high 30s. I mean, it is freezing cold. Last night, all these ponds around here had just a thin sheet of ice going around on the top, but it melted by about 10 or 11 when the fog rolled off and the sun came out. But where I've caught most of my fish, actually all of my fish, has been on this side of the lake. Now on that side, look at what's over there. Look at all the shade from the houses. The sun is high up this way and beaming down on this bank. So this bank is a little bit warmer and these rocks are holding a little more heat. Now that's another reason. The location of this pond. The reason we're fishing this pond, we're going to go try a couple other ponds, but the reason we're trying this pond first is because I assumed with the rocks around it and how this lake is not as deep, this lake is going to heat up a lot faster than most of your other ponds. And you guys can see there's already algae growing up on these banks. I mean, so this bank has been probably unfrozen a lot most of this winter. I mean, it's as compared to some of your other ponds that are surrounded in wood and upwards to like 15 to like 20 feet deep, because those are a lot harder to warm up. But the tactic I'm doing today is all with this structure and how this algae is coming up. How this rock goes down is probably about 4 or 5 feet from where the water line is down into the water. And I think it only gets up to about 9 foot of water. I wish I had some sort of eye bobber to check that, but from fishing here over the years, you just kind of learn and watch and pay attention. And all this stuff that is growing up along this bank, what that does is when you have these rocks that kind of protrude from it, these rocks will take on heat a lot better, and these fish will hug that stuff. And inside that algae, the fish always love cover year round. You know, they're always around cover, and it just depends on the time of the year and where they're going to be at. And what I'm doing today and why I'm pulling so many bites, Mason's over there fishing and I'm smoking him right now, not rubbing it in his face or anything, but my tactic is using this stuff. And swim baits are very popular bait this time of the year. One of the guys I fished with, he was like, dude, I wouldn't even throw chatter, but I am throwing a chatter. The water's a little more murky, so I'm using a little bit of chartreuse, but I am using that natural color with that green pumpkin color. And what I'm doing is going along this bank, the bank where the sun is beaming down, where it's going to be a lot more warm, where these fish are going to be a little more active. And what I'm doing is casting between 3 to 5 feet off of the bank, letting it fall for a few seconds, and then I'm just slow rolling it. And as I run into rocks and some of the algae growth that's up along the bank, I'm just popping it or slowly reeling it and then popping that algae off of it, and it's breaking free, and then you'll feel that chatter again. And normally after a couple of turns on the reel from that chatter breaking through that algae and that gunk or bouncing off that rock, the fish are coming up and hitting it. So that's telling me they are sitting on structure, and that little reaction bite with this chatterbait is getting it done. So, you know, tips and advice to you guys this time of the year. I know I've been watching so many fishing videos on YouTube. I'm so ready for the season. If you're eager to go out and fish and you can't hit up giant lakes, you can't hit up creeks and stuff like that, and you're trying to do some pond fishing, go to ponds like this one. You've got rocks all around it, creating a lot of warmth, and it's not too deep, so it's warming up a little bit faster than your other ponds. And then just pay attention to that sun direction, go to where you think the water's going to be the warmest, and go over there and fish. Swim baits, jerk baits, jigs, all that good stuff. The only bite I've pulled today has been on a chatter, which I'm hoping that changes as the day heats up, but we'll see. So there we go, another one. Oh, hooked another, dude. Oh, dude, this one's good. This one's a good one, dude. Healthy fish. Super cold, man. Super, super cold. Alrighty, well, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I had a blast fishing. I know this isn't the pond, obviously we're in my room, But the audio and the video got messed up while we were trying to do the closing scene because of the sun and something else. I have no clue what happened to the mic. But something got messed up, and that happens when you're filming fishing and hunting. It happens. But nonetheless, we're here doing the closing scene now. We had a freaking blast. Caught a few fish. Didn't catch very much. I think one thing that could have helped me today is bringing my tackle box. I didn't do that. I actually took 3 rods, 3 baits, and went to work. And when I keyed in on what bait they were hitting the best, which was the chatterbait, I used some of the most common baits today, but they were, for whatever reason, were hitting that moving bait better than anything. And I think if I'd eliminated that blade part on the swim bait and got rid of that chatterbait and just did a traditional swim bait with like an underweighted hook, I think I would have smoked more fish. But it didn't happen. I caught 3. It's whatever. It's early season. It's January. It was freezing cold. Not really temperature-wise, but the water was freezing cold. And we learned something. I definitely, you know, that one scene where I talked for about 4 or 5 minutes, I talked about things to key in on when fishing this late in the year, or this early in the year, I guess. Definitely look for heavier structure, like rocks. They're going to hold heat a lot better, and also try to fish your ponds that aren't as deep, because those ponds that aren't as deep allow sunlight to get through a lot faster, so they warm up a lot quicker than your other ponds. I mean, that pond we were fishing today is about 9 feet. Like I said, there was not a single piece of ice on that when we showed up at about 11 or 12. But when we went back to my neighborhood at 3 or 4 in the afternoon, there was still ice on mine, and my pond in my neighborhood is actually about 20 feet deep. So that's proof to that theory right there, or that piece of information. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. There's so much more fishing content on the way for this summer and spring. There's going to be tournaments, creek fishing adventures, I mean, all kinds of adventures. There's going to be so many different people featured on this channel throughout the summer. Tyler will be doing some fishing with me, the guy who you saw join us through the archery season, and then, you know, he was in the ATA videos. One of our other staff members. I mean, I don't know who's going to be fishing with me. There's going to be a lot of different people fishing with me. Tyler's might even get out there and do some turkey hunting. I'm not a big fan of turkey hunting. I might give it a shot, but we've got so much content coming to you guys this spring and summer. This is just the beginning, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to check us out on all of our social media pages, and do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and I'll catch you guys later on the next episode of The Outdoorsmen.